Hello, everybody. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Thank you all that support the show. Cash App is American Doofus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS. Thank you again for all of your support and for those that continue to support the show. This episode is White On Crime. We bring this up because it's not brought up. There's always a focus, always has been, on black crime. And that's just a way of being divisive. It's crimes of opportunity in most situations. However, there are crimes of a more personal intent, if you will. And that's what we witnessed in Atlanta, Georgia. 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, I believe is his name, decided that he was having a bad day, according to police, and went on a shooting spree in two different locations, killing 4 people in each location, 6 of them Asian, 7 of them women. 1 man killed, 1 white man, 1 white woman killed, and then 6 Asian women killed. It's never portrayed as white on Asian crime, but is it? It's never portrayed as white on black crime, but Ahmaud Arbery, first thing that comes to my mind. Second thing that comes to my mind is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. A man drove all the way from Texas with a loaded firearm and other ammunition in the vehicle and sat outside her residence, white on potential crime. Every time there's a mass shooting, the Las Vegas concert, man shooting down from above into a kill zone. School shootings, which are denied in many situations because it just makes the wrong people look bad. It makes white people look bad when they don't like that. But it's not called white on crime. I'm going to do a series of on the show called Black Home Again in Indiana. I'm going to be talking to some members of the Black community from Indiana, some that currently live in Indiana, some that have moved away. And if you're interested in being part of that, or you have some sort of experience in Indiana that you want to be a part of, email me at americandoofus@gmail.com. Again, all one word, americandoofus@gmail.com. And we sometimes forget that here in Indiana, July 4th of 2020, a black man was almost hung by a noose in a tree. If it hadn't been for somebody there with a cell phone that was running the video. That's the only thing that stopped that from happening, more than likely. So, and in general, we refer to the Civil War and the North against the South, and it's like the North was fighting for the freedom of slaves. And if you look at many state constitutions, including the Indiana State Constitution, which was adopted in 1816, sometimes you'll see me wear my Indiana hoodie. It's the state of Indiana. It's not Indiana University, and it has the state seal on there, 1816. And the 1816 Constitution made it clear that Black people were not allowed to own property or to reside in Indiana unless they were slaves, and it was like grandfathered in, So sometimes the northern states in the Civil War, because they quote unquote won, the picture is not always honestly painted. And that's one of the things we do here on this show. We try to give you honest portrayals of not only the present, but of history. And we've been covering Louisville, Kentucky for a long time on this show, and we're going to continue to, and we're going to continue to right now, as we're going to go to a video that came from Maxwell Mitchell. I talk a lot about Maxwell. I use a lot of Maxwell's footage on here because
it's what's planned for this part.
Hold on just a second, and let me set this up just a little bit, if you would. This is Chris Wills from Louisville. Chris has been one of the figureheads in the protests in Louisville. Behind Chris, you see Jefferson Park, Injustice Square, Breonna Taylor Park. It's the park at 6th and Jefferson, and it has many names. And I was down there twice in the park in the past year. And I actually reported live down there from the first time I was in the park, and I talked about the different vibe in that park. And the second time I was down there, the show had been on for a little bit, and some people knew who I was, and they're like, look, this isn't your individual fight like it is our individual fight. This isn't your revolution. Your place is talking about this and getting the word out of what's actually going on in locations and spreading that word around the world so that other people know what's going on, what's really happening. And that really sunk into me, that so many people from so many places watch this show, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm going to play this because we just had the 1 year memorial for the death of Breonna Taylor, and there are those that are tired of the protests, and there are those that are going to keep protesting until justice is served, and there are those that are like, what else can be done? And there are those like Chris Wills that are pressing hard for Breonna Taylor case to be reopened, a second grand jury to be reconvened. That believe it or not, the deck might have been stacked going in. Hard to imagine, I know, but I just want to kind of set that up. And again, Maxwell Mitchell was there for this bit from Chris Wills, Louisville, Kentucky.
Again, I'm saying this is the ground zero of the protest, and this is what Fisher believes, that if he can destroy this, he can destroy the protest.
Originally, I think the paperwork said the plan for the remodeling of this was 2017. If I can remember correctly, I think it was like some fountain. It was like a fountain or like a real up-to-date stoning. As far as like what they're gonna put on the ground, like this whole thing with no grass is gonna be all like platform kind of multiple statues, memorials to first responders, firefighters, police officers, etc. I have no problem with that. Okay, so the plans were in in ink and have been signed, contracted. You know, it's probably somebody else's idea that they sold to the city because the city doesn't own this. A lot of people don't know that the city does not own this. So that's a fight that we should be fighting to try to own this. But things have changed since 2017, clearly. Okay, Tyler Girth, my friend, was a photographer who's out here every day. He died right there. To my knowledge, an officer has died right here. Firefighter has died right here. To my knowledge, I may be wrong. I haven't lived 100 and some years. I don't know. To my knowledge, no one has died and lost their life at this very spot but Tyler Girth. Okay? Slaves were sold and traded right here. Okay?
And when I mentioned to you that the first time I was in Louisville, the first time I was at the park, that I felt weird vibes, that there was a different vibe there, that it was, I did not know that slaves had actually been traded, the actual block, if you will, that slaves were put upon and bought and sold, rested right there in that spot. And for those of you that think that we are all connected, that there's a higher spirituality, the trauma that this location bears and continues to bear. And as he just mentioned, Tyler Girth was actually shot. Maxwell's going to show us here coming up, but there's so much more to not only Louisville, but to the history all around us that we need to be aware of, because our history can become an anchor and can hold us back, or our history can become a springboard and move us forward.
When Tyler got shot right here, and if any of his family see this, I'm sorry to kind of rehash this, but like,
yeah, I got to stop it just again, because just as soon as he said that, I flashed back to the episode where sadly we had Tyler's murder. When it was a celebration, there was a celebration going on that we were covering, and all of a sudden shots rang out, and trauma comes back. And the more we try to suppress things, while we think we're being strong and we can push things down and make things go away, all we're doing is just repressing things, suppressing things that will resurface, and things. And there are so many things over this past year that have been traumatic to me to report on, and traumatic to me to witness. And sadly, the shooting of Tyler Girth ranks there at the top.
I had like bad dreams for like a month because I was right there. I was holding him. I was trying to pick him up, and he was bleeding. And I was trying to, and it was like, he's gone. I was like, nah. I was like, I'm gonna pick him up and take him to the hospital. It's right down the street. They was like, nah, he's gone. We're gonna just try to, you know what I'm saying, try to see what we can do. It took weeks for that concrete to turn back to a regular color. Weeks. Okay? For them to say that they're gonna come destroy this park to build something else and not memorialize Breonna Taylor, David McAtee, Michael Newby, Tyler Girth, Chris, Travis, like to not erase that. Like, they're trying to erase history.
Okay? Explain who Tyler Girth was, what he was doing.
He's a photographer, and actually, the day that this happened, we was right across the street. They had the statue over there that we spray painted Black Lives Matter on and stuff like that. Before they took it down, we had just shot a music video right there. We were walking back across the street. That's when the shots from Lopez, they came, he was shooting this way. When we just got done wrapping up that video, it was about the protest. It was a song about the protest. We're coming back across the street. and it was tense everywhere. People was running, like people that we thought that had firearms and stuff out here to protect us every day, dropped their guns and ran. Like, it's a lot of stuff that, like, I hate even thinking about it, because, like, that's why I prepare my marches and stuff the way I do, and I have overwhelming security, because people that I know that come from that background that's going to protect us, because we want our voices to be heard, but we can't watch our back and march at the same time. For them to try to destroy this is history right here that can't be redone. You like, the whole world, like Brazil, Russia, Breonna Taylor in thousands. Not one time have we had 10,000 people down here. That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me that we'll pack a club out every weekend. We'll go to a comedy show, like the, you know what I'm saying, celebrity come in town. We'll go to UK versus U of L basketball game by the thousands. But for something like this, not everybody can't get on the same page to understand that history was made right here, and this is ground zero. And they're trying to take it away from us. They're trying to erase it. They're trying to make it like it never happened. We cannot let that happen. I'm willing to put myself all the way on the chopping block to make sure it don't happen. Like, we cannot let them knock this down and take away the history from us. We can't. If everybody knows their history in Louisville, that was Rod Serber 4 years ago. The damage that was done in those riots is still to this day. Louisville ain't fixed that, but y'all gonna immediately get on top of this. That's why I declined all the meetings with government or officers, chief, and all this stuff, because if protest is an immediate problem, when we come to the table to talk, it should be an immediate, you know what I'm saying, solution. No, not each side is gonna get 100% what they want, and that's fine. But if y'all not, if the compromise ain't to where y'all know that y'all gotta make up for something, like y'all literally keep calling my phone, y'all literally every time to meet with people and say, how can we get control of this protest back? Control means suppress our rights. How are you gonna put restraints on freedom of speech, restraint on protest? You can't do that. The time that we get y'all on a live stream saying the word control, we're gonna sue y'all immediately. So stop trying to control our right and what we have well within our rights to do. And it's well within our rights via the Kentucky Constitution. Via the Kentucky Constitution, if the government is not doing what they're supposed to do, the people have the right to overthrow it. Look it up. Kentucky's Constitution, not the Constitution. This is the Kentucky Constitution. Says if and when local government fails the people, we can overthrow them. These are things that people need to know.
Let me ask you a question. You said no side can get 100% of what they want. But what we are here seeking is justice, right? We demand 100% of that, right?
They're not going to give it.
We got what we still gonna demand it.
Because exactly, but like they can reverse now. This word is wording with them. They call it language. Okay, they call it language. Reverse the decision and open the case back. Eradicate the law to where there was a time limit on if they can give justice or not. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Louisville Metro Police Department is not about to come out with a statement and say that they was wrong and that there was foul play in the Breonna Taylor case and cover up. They're not.
Now, I paused it here because there was a multi-million-dollar settlement made to the family of Breonna Taylor. And that is different than the criminal case that was overseen by the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And I pause this here because the family of George Floyd was given a $27 million settlement. And the defense attorneys of the Chauvin, the police officer, former police officer who was responsible for the death of George Floyd, they want to delay in that trial because the $27 million award gives the perception that something wrong might have happened. the $12 million, whatever I think it was $12 million, or 20, I don't remember the exact amount, and I do apologize. The amount awarded to the Breonna Taylor family gives us the perception that something was done wrong. And yet, as Chris Wills is saying, they're not going to come out and say that. However, a second investigation, a second trial might show something. And the question becomes, is that worth fighting for? Is that worth the protesting? Is that worth the potential division that comes in the Black community in Louisville over all of this? That's something that individuals have to be decided. Individuals have to decide on their own, and we do this not to try to push anyone to do anything. We just give you things to think about.
Gonna do that, but what they did do was jump out there and release a. Now you got to think, Louisville Metro Police Department released a statement that said there are no body cams. To the world, not to this WLKY Wave 3, to the world, they say there are no body cams. And then body cams come out. So that I'm inclined to believe, common sense tells you that there was something else. Okay? So it might be the smallest thing, but y'all still covered it up. So off that fact alone, it should be picked up and reopened. The history that was made right here cannot be erased. I've asked countless people to come out, join us out here, and things of that nature. And people are trying to be like, well, y'all not getting along out there. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a scenario. So you telling me that everybody on the basketball team likes each other, everybody on the football team likes each other, everybody on the hockey team, golf, anything that where it's people coming together with one objective to win. You think all of them like each other? No, they lace up their shoes and go for the win. Now, when that game's over, they go their separate ways. Everybody not gonna like each other, but we still can get the job done.
Everybody in the building don't like each other.
That's a fact.
Right. On that one,
ain't nobody that got a boss gonna go to work and be like, I just love my boss every day.
And they work together against them.
These things, we gotta pick what, like you said, demands, right? I said it earlier. I was like, instead of coming in and reading a big scroll, like hear ye. These are our 3,000 demands. We ain't gonna get no 3,000 demands, man, and we know it. Why don't you know why we typed it up? Now, if we can get a list of demands and then go put 100% on each one till we get it, do that first one, put out 100% effort towards it, get that one, cross it out, then go to the next one. Because if we're not, they know when we come to the table, these are 15 demands. They'll give us 3, they ain't gonna give us 15. So why not just bring one to them at a time and everybody be on that objective? This is the objective that we have to stop. And everybody needs to be on the same page.
I hope y'all listening to this.
Like my friend Tyler Gerber, I cannot stress enough, died right here. And they're gonna knock this down and memorialize first responders. I have no problem with that. But what about all the grass that's out there at the riverfront right here? The walking bridge. There's so much space over there to erect something like that. They probably can make it crazy memorialization over there. But like Tyler, Breonna Taylor, David McAtee, Michael Newby, Chris, like Travis, like what? This is history. So what they're telling us is that they don't care. Like I already knew a meeting that happened that said as soon as Saturday they were done Saturday. With the events and everything, Monday morning they was taking our stuff. What happened? It was gone. Now everybody else is upset about this stuff, but we already knew that they said they were going to do it. Why wasn't there 1,000 people? I heard them let them so they couldn't do it. That's what I'm not understanding. Like if we at this point, if we not ready to put our body on the line, jail time, so they're like we ain't caring about none of that. If we not ready to die for real, like that's how I'm at with it. If you're not ready to die, put your life on the line for it, then why do it? because we can't do the same thing we just did for 10, 11 months, looking for a different result. That's insanity. That's the exact definition. So I'm pleading with y'all. If you haven't been down there, get down here. Let's get the donations rolling back in. Bring water, chips, healthcare items, stuff like that. Let's get back down here. Show them we mean business. Show them this wasn't a fluke. This wasn't nothing that we just, you know what I'm saying, we was doing because we was bored or something. Because that's what they think. Oh, they'll get tired. No, why are we going to get tired of something that we ain't got? We ain't never had.
No justice.
How are we going to get tired and fatigued about something we ain't never had? That makes no sense. So we got to come back out and force y'all. And like I have to clear this up. When I brought the protest in front of the Vibes, everybody was like, oh, you're protesting a black business. I wasn't protesting a black business.
The protest in front of the Vibe that he's talking about is what we had on part 2 of Louisville. If you go back a couple of episodes, you can see that protest. And it was, again, a very peaceful protest. It wasn't blocking the business. And we talked about all of that back in that episode.
I'm friends with Trey. One of my best friends is like does security at that club. What I was doing was going out in front, so the people walking into the club, we was gonna try to make the protest contagious. That's what we gotta do. We gotta get these neighborhood. What y'all doing, man? Always just standing on the stoop, bro. Man, come down here and hit a couple blocks with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it contagious to where people like, oh man, y'all look good out here, bro. And then they'll be walking and be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay out here with y'all instead of going in the club. It's not about pulling people out of the club. We just want to show them that, you know what I'm saying? I told them we was gonna make noise from Real Taylor all night. And then you got people that's in the movement that have some material agenda clearly. Because whether you like me or not, don't wait till I'm in the middle of a march to come up here and voice an opinion, bro. Wait till it's over, then like, hey, bro, I feel like you could have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like but it's me though. I don't really care, but I know my intentions, bro. I really care about this. Feel me? I went to Ferguson. Feel me? You remember the white officer that walked in the black guy's apartment and said she thought it was hers? That was my family. This shit means something to me. You know what I'm saying? So like when these things happen, not even just that, just like I'm black every day. I can't wipe this off. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can go get the Michael Jackson Vitiligo tree. You know what I'm saying? But you still black. Period. You know what I'm saying? And we need everybody to understand that. Like these little innuendo statements that people are making in these offices and stuff, like they got to understand that this is every day for us. Even after we get justice, it's still going to be other little small battles that we got to face because it's systems within a system. And I stand on that. But we got to do something, y'all. Like point blank period. We have to do something.
So to rehash what Chris was saying, this part right here is history. History has been made here. You don't got to get out of the shot. No, history has been made here. Lots of events have happened right at this part. People have gone to jail at this part. People have been beaten at this part. People have been gassed and shot with rubber bullets at this part. And somebody's giving their life right over here, Tyler Durden.
Man, this is a spot where white people have hugged their first black friend before. This is the first place that people actually felt the confidence within themselves to stand on something and come out here and be a part of something that's outside of something that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because in this life, everything's so microwavable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so at this point, it's like, what's important to us? You know what I'm saying? Is this really important to us? Like, is this important as eating every day? Is this important as breathing? You know what I'm saying? Waking up? Like, it got to be that crucial. Like, and it's that crucial to me. But I can't make you think that is that crucial to you. You have to know that for yourself. Like, we got to do something, y'all. Like, this ain't a time that we can't do nothing. We got to get out here and do something. But this time, we know what to do now. A lot of us just jumped into these things. I didn't ask to be no leader. You know what I'm saying? I still saying no leader. I didn't ask to be no leader. You know what I'm saying? But I got out here and people seen what I was doing on my own. You know what I'm saying? Just taking initiative. You know what I'm saying? That's why I named our group Firm Initiative. Because, like, you just see something needs to be done and do it without somebody asking you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I need everybody to do. I need y'all to come out here and see and just look, gauge, and see what needs to be done to get this back up and rolling, y'all. Like, we got to get these numbers back up. We got to get out here. Let me know. Reach out to me. Reach out to Maxwell here. Reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to talk? Got any questions? Feel free to message me. I'm on Facebook, Chris Will, everything else, Chris Will KY.
Chris Will KY.
Mm-hmm. on all platforms.
Maxwell, how can you be reached?
Facebook.com/Maxwell A. Mitchell, Facebook.com/Maxwell.Mitchell.3700, Facebook.com/Maxwell.Mitchell.3701.
And if you don't follow Maxwell Mitchell and you're on Facebook, please do.
Look, and you know, I've been a part of it, but you know, I got intentions with the live videos I do. It's a lot of people talking crazy mess about the protests and everything on these live videos. Look, man, one thing I can tell you, they not out here. They're not putting their body on the line. They're not putting their time, money, pockets on the line either. You know what I'm saying? So that's all fine and entertaining to watch these live videos of people talking a whole bunch of nothing. Get out here and be a part
I'm
of
gonna do a 360 so we can see if we see them out here.
Nowhere. Like, look, a lot of people talk a lot of, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and da 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 da. Man, get out here and do it, man. I don't never see y'all be doing none of this stuff y'all say y'all be doing. Like, ain't no way I'm be screaming justice, and not be on the scene, boots on the ground. That's crazy to me. Get off them live videos, man, because y'all not talking about nothing. Only time I be on there is live capping, like recaptioning or something that happened, or you know, look, this is what we can do. I've taken a more, you know what I'm saying, educating role in that kind of matter, or you know what I'm saying, trying to reach people that I can't normally get to have their numbers or something like that. Like we not discussing nothing with the protests on the live videos no more. Like that's
Get out here. Get out here.
Get her.
Change-
That's what we need to do.
money,
We need you to be a body and be out
donate
there, occupying the
Right.
space. That's what we need.
To the right people. But we need
Appreciate
you
your
out
time,
here.
Chris.
Thank you. Hey, look, man.
Again, Maxwell's going to give us a look around the park as it sits right today. All the memorials are gone. Memorials to each of the individuals that was mentioned earlier, and the park has been cleared out. They were informed that it was going to happen, as you heard Chris say.
He's right. Protests, marches will continue. There's a lot that's about to happen out there. I got my focus on a few things personally, which, you know, one of those things being the revitalization program, also the revitalization team. The next meeting is March 22nd. Unknown to me, but we found it easy for research. Once again, the revitalization meeting, the committee meeting, is March 22nd.
And again, if you're in Louisville and you want to be in on the conversation, March 22nd, the revitalization of the square, the next committee's meeting. So there you go. As always, giving you something to think about. And I appreciate you watching. We'll be back, you know that. Until next time, it is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. You can email me at americandoofus@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at American Doofus. And you can help support the program through Cash App at $ American Doofus, all one word. Telling the truth is not always easy, but it always has to be done. And thank you for watching. It's a dark world. Be a light.